Hey, what's up, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? Glad to see everybody tonight. Oh, we got an action packed show for you tonight. We are here for Freedom Friday. Yes, that is right. We are here for Freedom Friday. And we got quite a few things that we would like to talk about here on Talking Tough with T. I am your host, Black T, the promoter. I am glad that you are here to be here with me. If you're in the comments, please drop it where you're watching us from in the comments. As we see the comments, we will get back with you. We will talk to you through the show. If you'd like to be a part of the show, if you'd like to be on the show, do please hit us up on the inbox, back on private chat or anything like that, and let us know that you want to be here in the show. If you're watching us on Facebook, definitely do it that way. For all my people watching me right now on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. This helps YouTube and Facebook know that we are someone that people are interested in watching and that we have great content to provide to the people. So thank you all for being here on Talking Tough with T. I am Black T, the promoter, once again, as I said. And, there's been a lot of things going on here in the city of Mobile, and a lot of things have been transpiring over the last 5 to 6 months. And here in our city, we have witnessed, quite a few tragedies. And a lot of those tragedies have come at the hand of our local police department. So if you've been keeping up with what we've been doing and what we've been talking about here on the show, then you kind of have a glimpse about it. But if you haven't been keeping up with it, we're definitely going to catch you up on that. But before we get into that, I want to start this show off with a special way, doing things a little differently today. Want to start this thing off with somewhat like the national anthem. And as we represent the cause and as we see just what time it is here in our local municipality, we also know that it is time to lift our voices and it is time to sing out to the rocks because we are not in playful times here in Mobile, Alabama. And a lot of people would like to think that things don't matter and everything is okay, but people need to stop for a minute and pick up the mug and smell the damn coffee because everything is not okay here in Mobile, and this shit is bigger than the party, and we got to focus on what really matters out here in our community. So we're going to part for a little quick presentation here. And when we come back from this presentation, we're going to get down into some more talks about what's going on in the city and what happened last night at All Saints Episcopal Church when Rev Barber of the Poor People's Campaign came to town and delivered a revival right in front of the state legislators and right in front of the city council people that are of melanation that are supposed to represent us and supposed to fight for our rights. We'll be right back. And just like that, we're back. I got to show love to state in the chance I get, man. Y'all see the background. Y'all know what it is, man. I don't have to speak for it. It really presents itself right there to let you know exactly what's going on here. So, hey, man, look, there's a lot of things going on in the city of Mobile. And Jawan Dallas, Justice for Jay, with pursuit to find, you know, a resolve. We pursue to find more transparency. We pursue to find more equity, you know, but we're not getting what we're due. We go downtown, we go to the city hall, and we ask these questions, and we present these presentations, and we list our demands. And that's the exact order that we flow in. See, we ask questions hoping that we could get answers, hoping that those that we ask those questions to would have the wherewithal, the fortitude of political insights or political um, oversight, should I say, um, along with insight, because you got to have the ends if you're already in, right? So, with them being the ones that preside over legislation, with them being the ones that preside over uh, activating or being advocates, I say activating because a lot of them refuse to activate their advocacy, and when they choose to spew out their presumed advocacy for what is presumed to be supporting the people, the people, you know, they come out and it's like they all read from the same chapter but different paragraphs. And we call that putting icing on the cake. And if you paid attention to any of the issues that are going on in the community, now when we did last stadium, they put so much icing on the cake on that one to the point where they tried to make us look like we were wrong the whole time. They tried to ostracize us. They tried to put false speculation about people's characters and people's personal intent for certain issues. One person would even take to say that I was doing all of this in efforts of that right there. One person would say that, well, buddy, I don't need that to promote that because that right there promotes itself. As you can see right now, that right there promotes itself. And it's because of me going down to a podium years ago and having inspiration to go to the podium years ago because the one who sat in the seat for my community had been sitting on his hands also, because there was a state of comfort. There was a state of no challenge, no fear for your job. So therefore, you would only do what was necessary, and that was only where the noise and the temperature was being raised. So therefore, I activated my advocacy at a young age in my mid 20s. And I started to, in my mid 20s, like my guy over here, you know, this guy over here, where he at? Touch him. Reach out and touch him. There he is. This guy over here. This guy, when he was in his mid 20s, he started doing some phenomenal things. So I started doing those things. And in the midst of doing those things, I started seeing a lot of things that drew me to discomfort, should I say. And those things still affect us today because you still have people in place that are not doing things to suit and support the commonwealth of the community. And they present an overall piece, but they never give you an insight of the fine tunings or the fine workings. And a lot of times they'll say, hey, we got a big box coming, but they don't tell you that the big box is going to be empty when it gets there. Or, they'll say, hey, we got this prepared for this community, but it's only going to be in this sector. And when it comes, it's only going to be for a certain set of people in the community. Like, so we go through those type of things downtown. So that's the stuff that led me to ever even wanting to be a part of that right there. Ever want to be a part of that. So look at here. Let's speed up some things. Now, we've been going downtown and we've been talking about Jawan Dallas, and recently the 16-year-old who was innocently slain by MPD, Mobile Police Department. We had to go downtown and we had to let these people know that we are standing on business about our community. We are here to let people know that we're not going to have any weak politicians sitting in our chairs when they are there to represent us and when they are there to help us overachieve and overcome certain obstacles. And we have some elected officials in office now who tend to not do things in the matter of fighting for the people. Only time they fight for the people is when the activists come down and say, hey, why aren't you fighting for the people? So if we have to constantly remind you that your job as a city council person or your job as a state legislator or your job as a state senator is to advocate and fight for the people, why do we need you there? Furthermore, if you putting yourself on the ballot and you don't even know what your powers are to be if you are elected to be on the ballot, we don't need you in that chair. Why are you running? And see, a lot of times we have people like that in the chair, whereas they don't know the own power of the chair. They don't know how much weight and how much collateral they hold. But it's up to us to figure these things out. It's up to us as a community to be prepared to get these people that mean us no well out of office. But it's also up to us as a community to do our research, to know our homework, and to understand that we have to look up on what these people who say they want to sit in these chairs are saying and delivering to what they're going to do. Now, you have people, they get in office and they follow a guide map that's already been there, already laid out, and it's an agenda that they're following, nothing deviating to say that, hey, this is my own dynamic bill and this is what I attempt to bring. And then you have people who don't win who are planning to do exactly that. Now, I have a problem with people jumping in and following the guide map, especially if they're not following the guide map to suit the overall benefit of their district. And if you're going to suit the overall benefit of your district, I think and presume that you lean towards the strongest point of that district. Now, well, I can say that my community, my district has been getting things. We're missing things. And the things that we're missing is you're not just in that seat to speak up for the communities that you represent because you're a city councilman or a city councilwoman. So therefore, if there's an issue that hinders any progress to anyone, you have the divine right to intercept and intercede. This is the truth. And in Mobile, what's so intricate is we have a strong council, weak mayor form of government, meaning that we have a council president and a council vice president. Okay. And they have 5 others that sit alongside with them underneath them. Okay. And those 7 together make one mayor. And 5 of them unanimously voting against 2, and sometimes 4 to 3, depending on the magnitude of what is being selected, can overthrow and trump anything that the mayor puts out. Now, the council can vote to put something out, and the mayor can veto it because he's the executive director of the. But the council can also come back and veto his veto because it's a strong council and a weak mayor form of government. So when you have a strong council, 7 is greater than 1, right? And 5 is greater than 2. So if you have 5 councilmen of the 7 that vote in favor to veto whatever the mayor puts forward, then you got progress, right? Okay. Now that's what it takes in order to overthrow things. See how it's Freedom Friday, so I'm giving you keys to freedom right now, citizens of Mobile. So, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe, baby. Like, follow, share. Show us a little love tonight, man. You know, it's Talking Tough with T. I don't know where you might be watching from. If you're on Facebook, drop a comment. Like I said, let us know where you're at. Let us know where you're watching from. But we're going to get back on this topic. So, you know, the mayor has presented to do things in the past, and the mayor wants to do things in Freedom Friday. That's right. That's right. That's right. Valiant Thor. Shouts out on YouTube. I see you. All right, man. So, you know, with the Jawan Dallas issue, the mayor does things. He's been trying to go out there and create legislation now since the 16-year-old got killed. But, you know, what's so dramatic about the Jawan Dallas deal is, you know, the attorneys and everybody, they saw the video footage. The family saw the video footage after 5 long months of being stalled out. And, you know, we've been told so many lies. They've been told so many lies. Their attorneys have been told so many lies as to the nature that there was a grand jury. Like, there's so many lies being told that they don't even believe that there's a grand jury. There have been so many lies told that they said that Jawan died at the hospital when truthfully he died in the back of the squad car. Like, so, you know, we knew that they lied about a lot of things back then because, you know, remember when Michael Moore was killed by Mobile Police Department's Harold Hurst, they said that they found the weapon underneath Michael Moore at the hospital. How did you wait till you got to the hospital to find the weapon? So you mean to tell me in the midst of the ambulance moving him from the street to the car, there was nobody that able to find the gun? Nobody. So, you know, just we know that our city and our Mobile Police Department lies. And further, you know, we know a lot of things. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to play this right here. This is me down at City Hall the other day, speaking up for the rights and the life of the people. No pads, no pencils, not even an instrumental. As I gave the business of the city to the city. Sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy.
Because this is straight from the heart. Mr. President.
We're going to get it up for you here.
Because this is straight from the heart. Mr. President, how many bodies does this administration have under its name? How many times has someone been murdered by the Mobile Police Department under this administration? Furthermore, how many times has that victim been an innocent suspect? How many times has it happened? So my next question is, how many times do they expect for it to keep happening? And do they expect for us to come down here, speaking from the heart, gathering the community members together, just to hear fluff from the city attorney? Just for somebody to say, you don't know what you're talking about. Just for somebody to say this good cop, bad cop narrative. I'm tired of hearing it. And I know the city tired of hearing it too. We're not coming down here saying that all cops are bad, because if we did, we'll come down here and say, get rid of all the cops. That's not what we're saying. We're not dumb. We're very intelligent. You're talking to veterans. You're talking to doctors. You're talking to ministers. You're not talking to idiots. You're talking to people who studied, people who have great educations, people who come from great backgrounds and great families. You're not talking to imbeciles. You're talking to people who study your business just as hard as you study the city's business. You're talking to people who have placed themselves on ballots to sit up here. You're not talking to dummies. So stop with the same old tired narrative. We already know what you're going to say before you even say it. But we only have 180 seconds to come down here. And once we say what we say, we go back to our chairs. Y'all say whatever you want to say. You can disagree with me till your ears turn blue. I don't care. I'm going to say what these people out here on those blacktops are saying. Y'all know what this is about. This is about unity in the community. And it's about the community coming together when there's a problem going on in our city. This lady has been coming down here since July 2nd. I would have got on the issue, but I was illegally banned from speaking in these chambers on July the 2nd. I was banned July 1st on my birthday, a whole month. Couldn't come down here and say anything about the Dallas issue. Then for the mayor to get on the TV and act like nothing's wrong and act like the police did no wrongdoings, then we don't know who these killers and thugs are out here on these streets. So now everybody that's brown has to drive with precaution. Then you have 3 of the victims this year that weren't even the correct people. There's outrage. That's why we're mad. That's why we come down here like this. But then we'll be the bad guys. And then you all will sit up here and you all won't put any teeth into the legislation. You'll just do it to make it look good for Mayor Stimson and Ricardo Woods. And at the end of the day, we'll all be the ones that are sobbing. We'll be the ones that are upset. And I don't care if it's not what I signed up to speak on. It's what needs to be said. Thank you.
So that was Tuesday, right? And after that meeting, they had a committee meeting about a piece of legislation that they're changing. When I said, you're going to put together the legislation and it won't have any teeth. And when we went there, we heard a lot of rebuttal from the city attorney and the city council attorney. And we also heard a certain council person of this nature stand up and say a few things. But this guy is like, he always just hops on the bandwagon once he realizes that that's what the black side of people are doing, because he's trying to always keep his politicalness up. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to keep his political value up. But, with that going on, this guy said a lot. And, if you look at Councilman Days up there, he's looking at me just like, well, when the guy starts speaking and going in rebuttals with the council attorney and in rebuttals with the city attorney, he was saying, this guy's always grandstanding. This guy's always standing on his soapbox and stuff. But anytime we come down speaking for justice and freedom, that's what this guy typically does. And I can't expect nothing less of him because he's a part of the Comic Cowboy Mardi Gras Mystic Society that parades and makes political satire about communities and different people in politics. And, that's what they do. And some of their satire has been highly scrutinized over decades past. And so, that's just what we're dealing with. This guy openly admitted about being in it. And our mayor was in it at one time, but he jumped out and said, I'm not in it anymore. But, come on, whatever. Yeah, you just don't parade anymore. That's okay because we know what you do. But, I told y'all that the city council had me up there on the 9th floor, had me in the meeting, and the guy was like your speech last week, but I don't know what you had going on this morning. And last week you were phenomenal. That's because I came in talking like Langston Hughes. But then this week I came in like, man, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, got time for it. I try not to use cussing words these days, but if I have to use cussing words, I will. But, so, these guys, they want to have this meeting, talk about it, and at the end of the meeting, the guy said, man, and take off your hat, man. You shouldn't come down to the podium with your hat on, man. You're a man. You're supposed to take your hat off. Hey, man, look here. Don't stick me to them stereotypes. Just like I don't want to be stereotyped for being something that I'm not. I don't want to be stereotyped to fit in to be something that I'm not. Like, it's, like, we don't want to be stereotyped when it's a negative outlook, and I don't want to be stereotyped to make you feel confident in your beliefs and your backgrounds and what you think someone should do, because who in the hell made the law that said a man shouldn't wear his hat on the inside? Who in the hell made the law that said I got to take my hat off when I'm speaking? Who made that law? Now I understand that in certain chambers we follow the Robert's Rules of Orders, but guess what? I'm not assigned to your committees. I'm not assigned to these chambers. I am a citizen. I am a community member. I am bringing my black ass off the streets into the government plaza chambers to do work for the people out here on the blacktops, whether they're black, white, yellow, red, or brown. It does not damn matter. That's what I come down there to do it for, okay? Red, black, and green are the substances of all colors. You better wake up and you better realize. They call it red, blue, and green, but it's truthfully red, black, and green. That's the substance of all colors. Anybody who's in graphic design, anybody who's in media, you already know it because you got a green screen and it could be green or blue. Either way, you can get the job done. Red, blue, green, but we stepping on the black because that's where it's at. I'm young, gifted, I'm black, and I'm proud of it. So, I'm going to hit you off with this little break right here because, it fits perfect with what I am having to say here to the city council person that called me in for the private meeting. And it also leads up perfect to the meeting that was held last night at All Saints Episcopal Church that we will be talking about coming up shortly, because that, my friends, was something that you all should have been at. That, my friends, is something that no one should have missed. But I understand that we have life and things go on, and everybody can't be everywhere every day at every time. So for those of us who have the capacity and the ability, we must keep pushing. We must keep the fight up. For years and months and days and weeks upon the times of hours to seconds, I have sat there getting frustrated, depressed, and stressed, thinking like nobody supports me, nobody this, nobody that. But baby, you don't know who's watching and when they're going to show. I am trying to tell you. So I'm thankful that I've never given up the race, that I've always stood fast and stood on business when it came to this business right here. And what's so great about what's happening out here in Mobile, Alabama is another thing, another dynamic. Check this out. We headed for brighter days, y'all. It's a lot of things going on. See, we had that type of revival that they should have had with Martin Luther King last night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, man, it came last night. So here's a message to that city council person that told me I need to take my hat off when I'm in the building and when I'm speaking. Bro, if I ain't in no sanctuary, no church, I ain't taking my hat off. If I walk in with my hat on, I'm leaving my hat on. If I walk up to the door wearing a hat, I'm wearing my hat all the way till I walk out the door. Okay? That's the way it is. If you don't like it, it ain't nothing you can do about it. Because I'm going to always be myself.
Life
to lead that, Jack. You got to know this.
It can be underestimated. It's a real life struggle. I'm about to tell y'all about this shit. I got to be myself, can't be nobody else. My family raised me right, the streets turn me left.
And I'm from Alabama where it gets hard as hell. You try to snap for something, they'll hit you with them shells.
I got to be myself, can't be nobody else. My family raised me right, the streets turn me left.
And I'm from Alabama where it gets hard as hell. You try to snap for something, they'll hit you with them shells.
All right, there. I ain't gonna let y'all get it right there because sometimes, Facebook doesn't think that I own that music, but that's my music. Be myself. And it's out there for you, baby. It's out there for you to put into your radio playlist. But I'm not gonna play it on here. I want y'all to go look for it, go listen to it. Because I put hard work into my craft. And I would love for you all to go and check that out so I get my residual incomes, because it's all about the hustle, baby. You got to know this for sure. Now, I want to play this song one more time because it's so beautiful to me. I just want to do this one more time. And, after I play this, we're going right back into it. Woo! You just gotta love it, don't you? You just gotta love it. Man, you can't be black and proud and not love that song right there. I'm just telling you. That's the way I feel. Hey man, don't forget the DB Merlin Marketing Solutions HBCU Pigskin Showdown, presented by the Gulf Coast Adjusting Academy, sets to take place this month, December 30th, at the historic Lad Peebles Stadium. This classic is made up of football players from historically black colleges and universities, ranging from the Division One talents all the way down to the Division Three talents. They'll be right here in Mobile, Alabama, high noon at Lad Peebles Stadium. I will be your announcer that day. I am so glad and I am so grateful and appreciative because this will be my first collegiate event announcing. So I've announced in the college stadium before in Daytona, Florida at Bethune-Cookman when I was in high school announcing for the band. But I have never announced for collegiate sports event. So this is a step in graduation. This is a step in moving on up in the communications world and the communications field. You are here on Talking Tough with T. I am Black T, the promoter. I love life and I love you. Thank you for tuning in here today and being on the show with us. We're going to take a quick little breather, a 30-second pause, and we'll be right back to break down the events of yesterday at the Moral Justice Revival Movement at All Saints Episcopal Church on Ann and Government Street in Mobile, Alabama, with Rev Barber, the Poor People's Campaign, several civil rights attorneys, and the family of Jawan Dallas. Justice for Jay. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, the information is down below. Email your info to info@blacktmedia.pro if you'd like to be featured on the show. That's for anybody seeking interview opportunities, guest hosting opportunities. I'm also looking for a co-host. This is not a solo project. This is a community affair. But there will be criteria selections for those who are chosen to be co-host on the show. But we're always looking for guests. We're always looking to talk to entrepreneurs out here in the community. We're always looking to talk to business executives that might not be entrepreneurs, but you may be a high-ranking business exec in some Fortune 500 company. We'd love to have you come on the show and share vibes with us as well, because we like to talk about tough topics here, and we like to find out how we can create solutions to provide a better day in our communities. Tanya Howard on Facebook, shouts out to you for tuning in and waving at us. We appreciate you here at Talking Tough with T. The team and I are very grateful. I'm looking for a J45 and either Reggie Hill to tune in to the show tonight. I haven't seen anything from my brothers yet, but things will transpire. And another thing that I want people to know is, yes, I just got a very, very important message. Yes, okay, yes, okay, sounds great. Sounds great. So, yes. Also, folks, with all this bullshit that's going on in our city, it's a great time for our community to invest in some goddamn life insurance. Now, I got several different life insurance packages floating around or whatever, but I'm not worried. So, Uncle Sam is going to take care of me when my day comes. Should my day come any day, when that day comes, because we all will see that day, but we don't want it to be so soon. But just, you never know. You just never know. And you can't just not know, okay? You can't just not know. And what does life insurance do? It helps you just not know. It helps you reassure yourself that Should drama happen? Should anything happen? Do you think that the people today that got killed and shot and messed up in that car accident, do you think that they knew that today was going to be their day? Do you think that the 16-year-old and his family last week, do you think that they knew that that was going to be their day? Do you think that Jawan Dallas thought that that day was going to be his day? I can guarantee you $1 million, which I don't have, which I probably spent over in a lifetime, but currently right now I don't have. So your bucket of shit that those people did not expect that to be their result in the outcome. Now, I don't know the status and the situation of anybody's family and what they have going on, but in this quest, in this world to save lives and to save foundations, we must know that we got to have life insurance. We can't just go have a GoFundMe and hope CJ Small gonna bury you for free because he cared about your family crying because they didn't have life insurance and little Pookie didn't have anything going to give to his kids or his next of kin. So we got to make sure that we're doing our part on that nature right there, y'all. And that's for certain. Now, yesterday, we had the esteemed Rev Barber in town from the Poor People's Campaign. And when Rev Barber comes to your town, it is not a joke. Do you understand me? The equivalence to Rev Barber coming to your town is the equivalence of Dr. Martin Luther King coming to your town in the 60s. Now, whereas everybody thinks that life is so good that we don't have to protest, that we don't have to show up for local town hall meetings, that we don't have to show up to our city council town hall meetings, that we don't have to do anything that means unify and come together to stop the further and continuous oppression that has never stopped in America. You know, when he comes to town, he comes and he delivers a charge. He does not come to town to calm you down. He does not come to town to say, hey, it's going to be okay. Return to your homes and let us handle this. No. When he comes to town, he says, we're here. And we're here to do the work. And until we come back to finish up on the work, we need you all to continue working. And if it's something that I learned during the Michael Moore days and the protest of Michael Moore, whereas I felt like we didn't protest enough, I felt like we didn't push the issue long enough, but there were certain variables that would have prevented that and that presented that to happen. You have a dynamic now where you have certain variables that work great for what's happening in the now. And that's people who want to fight to the core, fight to the end, because you just ran up on the wrong set and you've been killing innocent people all year. And this ain't the first year that y'all been doing this. And the problem is now, it's like, is there, man. Is there any sorrow? That's all I know. And my brothers, y'all know. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Is there any sorrow for those that stand in between the columns? Is there any sorrow? And when you look at our Mobile City Council, sometimes you'll think that there's no sorrow. Because pay attention to what's really happening. They don't give a damn. If you didn't hear me, they don't give a damn, people. They really don't. So, Rev Barber and the attorneys, they spoke about a lot of things. Now, what was so funny is you had all these news cameras in here. You had all these different channels up in there. And you had all the black city council people in there. You had a few of the state representatives in there. You had a few of the black people running for Congress in there. You had agents in there. You got to know agents were in there for all these people in there. You had civil rights leaders from all over the country in there. You had civil rights leaders from this state in there. You have perpetrators and pretenders who are part of affiliations in different bodies and organizations that conspire and also work together in coups and coup operations, things like that. You had all these different things going on at one time. But they had a little segment where they was delivering charges, and then they got done delivering charges. And speaking of the heinous crimes they witnessed when they watched the body camera footage of how they heard the cops tell Jawan to shut the fuck up before I punch you in the stomach, to hear cops saying, "Oh, you got you a deliberation coming up, huh? I got me one last year. Welcome to the society." To hear them laughing, to know that they lied about him dying at the hospital, yet he died in that squad car. To blame his death on being on spice and being on other things of the nature, and to bring up a criminal record. To debunk the fact and basically present the reason that he deserved the need to die. For the mayor to come out and say right behind the attorney and everyone viewed these things that no wrongdoing was done based on policy set in the standards that the officers follow. And for the police chief to openly admit over a month and a half ago that these cops never saw any administrative leave of time, any punishment, and they're back on the force and they're back on duty, and we don't know who they are, people. They're on duty and they're riding around here every day, and there are others like them based off what you just heard me say that are riding around every day. But you can't have fear if you're in this fight. And so there was a question period, and they gave 5 people the opportunity to ask questions. I was number 4. And my question was in front of the state legislators who were in there, in front of the council people who were in there, who I've petitioned to, who I've asked interview questions to. I got an interview of me asking one about it, and he openly admitted, no, we haven't. And then I got a one-on-one meeting that same day with another, and ask him, why won't you do it? And I was given a rebuttal as to why they wouldn't do it, and basically said that they already know that it'll be shot down. Well, when I asked the question last night, because first, before I asked the question, Reverend Barber said that we need to be on our city council's neck and we need to continuously apply pressure to them. And he came down and said that you need to have men's night, you need to have women's night, you need to have dress up night, you need to have game night, you need to, like, he just started making up all types of themes that we can have to push people to go into the city council meetings to apply this pressure. But when I stood up, I said, I have a 2-part question. It's not 2 questions, but it has 2 parts. And I said, first and foremost, you referenced us having these nights. But it's hard for us to do that because our city council meetings are at 10:30 on Tuesday mornings. And he said, okay. I said, the common layman or working man surely can't be at a meeting like that. And he said, you're right. And I said, but my question is, when you've petitioned to your city council about strengthening the legislation, and when you've also come to them and petitioned to them to go to the state delegation to create an amendment into the law, but they refuse to, or they provide rebuttal, what should you do? His suggestion was, first to them, that they should be ashamed of themselves for having a city council meeting at 10:30 a.m. in their faces now. This is on footage. Go look on J45, James Lewis Jackson's Facebook, and he had the whole event recorded. But you'll scoot up inside that last hour and pay attention to everything that goes on inside that last 40 minutes. of it's an hour 40 minutes. Look at it inside the last 40 minutes and pay attention because it got hot in there, baby. And he spoke and said that they should be ashamed of themselves and that they should be having an amendment at the very yes, ma'am, Tanya, absolutely. They'll testify that there's a witness in the house today. You understand what I'm saying, people? Testify that there's a witness in the house. Thank you for sharing that. And he spoke and said that hopefully that when they have their next city council meeting that they'll be getting, because he said when they leave here, hopefully they'll be going to get busy for the next city council meeting to put forward administration or legislation to have the city council meeting move to 6 o'clock because it is time. And I also referenced that we have only 180 seconds to say what we have to say. You know, so he talked about all that, man. And then he pivoted and said, and they need to be petitioning to the state delegation, but the state delegation should already be on that on their own anyway. So we shouldn't even be having to petition to anybody in the state delegation about doing nothing. And then he said, if they won't change the city council meeting to a time where working people can come, file a lawsuit against them for discriminatory practices. Because for surely that's discriminatory. When you got towns all around us in a full 360 radius who had their city council meetings in the evening part of the day. But yeah, we the ones who have ours at 10:30 Tuesday morning. Y'all think the city council meetings ain't important, but if the city council meetings was at 6:30 and you had somebody like me and J45 streaming live at these city council meetings, or you was on YouTube watching these city council meetings when you wasn't at work and you ain't have to sneak or you ain't have to sacrifice your lunchtime where you watch your other little entertainment and stuff, because apparently knowing about what's being decided on and what's being fought for in your city is not interesting enough. You know, it should be 300 people on this damn show right now. It should be 3,000 people out here watching what the hell going on, because I'm not talking about shit to pat myself on the back, to gloat, to say that I got the best podcast in Mobile, Alabama, when I know I damn do. Because we talking about raw, real facts, and I'm talking about in this sector. I ain't talking about no other sectors. I'm talking about podcasts in this sector. I'm coming for Uncle Henry. I'm coming for all those other political podcasts that like to put those false narratives out there, that like to make our side of politics look like shit. They want to make us look like we don't know what we're talking about. They want to make us look like we unlearned. They want to make us look like we don't know what's going on in the other side of town. They want to make us look like that every time we come downtown, all we doing is complaining and being ungrateful. Ain't we damn tired of hearing the same old damn narrative? They've been saying the same old shit about us since the beginning of time, and they still saying the same damn thing about us now, and they still lynching us in the streets, and they still keeping us at bay at work, and they still keeping us silent on the job, and they still won't let us have rights, and they still taking every damn idea that we bring to the damn table. And this city don't do nothing but be on their favorite DJ page and on their favorite model girl page, talking shit all damn day, talking about what Kelly Rowland doing, talking about the damn Beyonce movie. I don't give a damn about no damn Beyonce and Jay-Z. They can serve Baphomet all day. I don't want to talk about what's going on in Mobile, Alabama. See, we got a damn problem, and it's time for us to wake up. Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Now, y'all done got me hot up in here. Y'all done got me hot up in here, baby, because we got to cut the damn games out. We the reason why Jawan Dallas dead. We the reason why the 16-year-old dead. We the reason why the poor white man got tased to death earlier last year and he dead. We the reason why the other guy got his door kicked in trying to jump by his own window and got killed. We the reason why 3 innocent bodies by the Mobile Police Department, who they wasn't even looking for, have all been slain. We the reason why Trey Webster ain't here. We the reason why Michael Moore ain't here. Because if we had somebody that stood firm on tactics, that stood firm on policy, and actually gave a damn about the urban community, sitting in office to fight this damn bullshit that we encounter every day, we wouldn't have this bullshit going on. If we had somebody here advocating to bring Fortune 500 companies to the urban ghettos because we want to enhance the areas of the urban ghettos, or what they want to call urban ghettos, because you ain't gonna call Tomerville no goddamn ghetto, because I didn't grow up in the damn ghetto. This was a pristine, clean, and a high self-esteem having ass community when I grew up in it, and it's gonna stay that way, and we're not gonna let you take that from us. And as you pursue to upgrade but change names of things in our community, we must also let you know that we don't want this damn neighborhood to be named Tomerville no more, because the Tomans hauled ass on the white flight and left this community, and the worst looking damn street in the damn neighborhood is called Toman Avenue. Now go damn figure. What's that all about? We want to call this Dreamville. So y'all, I'm just here to tell y'all what's real, to tell y'all the truth. This is what it is. This is Talking Tough with T. I am your host, Black T the Promoter. We will be here every Tuesday night and every Friday evening. Every Tuesday night and every Friday evening. Some days we'll be on the road, some days we'll be here in the studio. But nevertheless, always believe that we will be here because we will not be going anywhere. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, chiming in the comments. Tanya Howard, I appreciate you. You are a true supporter. Everything is beautiful. Everything is love. I appreciate you, Paris Inge, my good friend, my childhood bestie from Seal Street. I appreciate you. You always let me know that you're proud when you see me, and I'm proud to make others proud. And hold up. Let me go back and rewind for that nigga that told me I need to take off my hats. Why ain't nobody else got a problem with it? Why you got a problem with it? Simp ass. Talking about take off a hat. Nobody taking off no hats. Nobody taking off no hats. I'll take off a hat in the sanctuary. But if I want to wear my goddamn hat when I'm at the podium and I'm fighting for the people and I'm speaking for better days, moral accountability, and equal justice, that's just what it is. I'm underground king for life. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The people I do this for. I don't do this for your liking. I don't do this for your acceptance. I don't want to be a Kappa. I don't want to be in suits. I don't want to be a part of your fraternity. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want people to tell me what to do, when to come, and how to go. If I would have did that, I would have stayed in the military. I would have tried to go to another branch when I was done with the other branch. But no, you can't control people, and you ain't going to control people, because there were quite a few people of the Caucasian persuasion yesterday who would also say that they saw the interview and that they were like, whoa, wow, you really went in on them like that? Dang, homie. But they were in acceptance and agreement of it. And we know we're here now. We know this is our time. It was so great for Reverend Barber to call upon the young activists in the back to come stand up around all the clergy and all the wisdom and the wise people as we came together to pray and bring on harmonious tunes for Mother Dallas and Papa Dallas. It was a great occasion. And it further spoke to me and let me know that my time has come. And because my time has come, to whom much is given, much is required. And that's why we're back here on podcast. And that's why we're here talking about the good old talk. It's just like Black T Radio all over again. But it's Talking Tough with T. So, man, if you like the support, if you like to give a little, if you like to show a little love, The information's right there. It's right there for you. We do this fight. We go out here and we do what we do every day. We do what we love and we show it the best way we can. And we're not begging. We're not compensated either. But we're not begging. We're just putting it out there for anybody that like to support because every little goes a long way. And you got to understand that when an entrepreneur takes time away from doing their business, because y'all already know I'm an entertainer. I work in the hip hop circuit, and I also work in the Southern Soul Blues circuit. But I also work as a PA announcer. I announce football games and basketball games. I host weddings and receptions. I host any damn thing that needs an MC. If you need a master of ceremonies, that is me. And that's how I make my living. But I also have to work on media and graphics and things of that nature as well. And I also have to work on cultures and all other type of deals because it's so big. And I'm always looking and scouting and recruiting and networking to find the next thing because this type of business is just that type of business where you have to do that type of work. So if you like to show a little love, you like to give, that's that. Man, it's been real kicking it with y'all. It's been really real kicking it with y'all, man. I love coming to the people, talking to y'all, telling y'all what's real, and showing y'all another side. Like I said, man, if you want to be on the show, submit that email, info@blacktmedia.pro. That is info@blacktmedia.pro. If you'd like to be featured on the show, if you'd like to get your business featured on the show, talk about some things. Maybe talk about some things. Maybe we could barter some things. Help me, help you, help us. You feel what I'm saying? Help me, help you, help us. And help you, help me, help us. Together is what it is. That's the only way we can make it, y'all. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you send this off to everybody. And we're talking about all these things and we're talking about all these people that we're trying to put out of office, that we're trying to get out of office. We want to impeach people. We want people to resign. Well, certain people that we want to resign were hired by somebody that we want to impeach. But the best way to impeach someone is to make sure you're registered to vote. And what better time now than to start registering to vote so that when 2025 comes in the city of Mobile, we are angled and we are ready to vote. Yes, we are using this platform to talk to political candidates that also would like to run for offices and things like that. Yes, we're going to call them out to the Talk Tough with T show, and we're going to bring them up to the forefront because now is the time. Now is the time. And they can't say that they don't know. They can't say that they're not coming and that they won't show. Man, listen, the time is now. People, we here. I am Black T the promoter. This has been Talking Tough with T. You have been rocking with me, and I am so glad that you came. We'll be back on here next Tuesday evening, for a wrap up about what goes on and what went down at the public safety meeting. There won't be a city council meeting next week, so I don't have the agenda to read to you guys tonight. But there will be a public safety committee meeting, but there won't be any comments taken. We'll get footage from that and we'll bring it back here to the show. We'll break it down. Who said what? Who did what? And it's also going to be a packed house. We're going to be in there. So please believe, as we wait and make our way out, always remember to
be myself. Can't be nobody else. My family raised me right. The streets turn me left. And I'm from Alabama where it gets hard as hell. You try to stand for something, they'll hit you with them shells.
So you know what I'm saying? I always say it don't matter if you wear square toes or a Dickie suit. Please believe somebody gonna be after you. I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. I'm from the land of Jim Crow, Mission Impossible.
No matter if you wear square toes or a Dickie suit. Please believe somebody gon' be after you. I ain't telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. I'm from the land of Jim Crow, Mission Impossible. You do what you gotta do to make it out this motherfucker. You do what you gotta do to take care of your mother.
You do what you got to do to be a better man. You do what you got to do to lend a helping hand.
Do what you gotta do to lend a helping hand. You do what you gotta do to be a better man.
Got to be myself, can't be nobody else. My family raised me right, the streets turned me left.
And I'm from Alabama where it gets hard as hell. You try to snap for something, they'll hit you with them shells.
I got to be myself, can't be nobody else. My family raised me right, the streets turned me left.
And I'm from Alabama where it gets hard as hell. You try to snap for something, they'll hit you with them shells.
All right, y'all. That's it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you're looking for that track, man. I got it. I'm going to start the promo on the next week again, man. Get it back out there. Let y'all know, man, we in them good times. Show y'all right. It's all good, baby. Talking Tough with T. Look for the podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts at on audio. And we're on YouTube. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. On Facebook, make sure you like, follow, and share. It's all love, man. I am Black T, the promoter. It's been love. It's been real. Peace.